Welcome everyone to a new video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about my Spider-Man rankings. And I promise you, my ranking is completely different from any other ranking you've ever seen of the Spider-Man movies. Kind of a spoiler, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not the lowest, and Spider-Man 2 is not the highest. So, let's get started. Number 9, The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, the reason why I put this, at the lowest is because there's not that much Spider-Man in the movie. There's a lot of Peter Parker, and that's about it. A little bit more than half of the movie is just Peter Parker trying to figure out, the history of his parents and all that, and also trying to help Dr. Connors with his research. He doesn't really become Spider-Man until, the midpoint of the movie. Don't get me wrong, Andrew Garfield is amazing as Spider-Man / Peter Parker, but listen, man, I came to watch a Spider-Man movie. There's not that much Spider-Man in the movie, so it's more of an action movie featuring Spider-Man instead of it being Spider-Man in an action movie. Did I say that right? I don't know. I'm going to go with it, though. So, yeah, that's why it's the lowest on my ranking. Number 8 is Spider-Man 1. Now, listen, man. I'm going to get a lot of people talking about this one, but I just didn't like Spider-Man 1 as much. It's not because of how cheesy it is or anything like that. I just think it's really cringe. Way more cringe than Spider-Man 3. I don't know, man. It's maybe because the movie is, the first of the USA released Spider-Man movies, so maybe that's why it feels older and dated, but if you regard that, it's just not as fun to sit through, this time around. I watched this movie when I was a kid, the first 3 Spider-Man movies, the Sam Raimi movies, that's what I grew up with, but out of all 3 of those, this one is not my favorite. Not a lot happens. Green Goblin is amazing in it, don't get me wrong, but everything else is kind of a drag. Kind of like with Amazing Spider-Man 1, where it's I don't know, it's not that entertaining, there's a lot of stuff. Spider-Man's not really in it for that long either, if I remember correctly. I watched this movie last month, okay? I watched all the Spider-Man movies leading up to the new one, but yeah, as far as I can remember, it's not that fun to watch anymore. At least for me, in my opinion. But yeah, Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, amazing. You can't go wrong with that. Number 7 is Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, this one is higher than the other 2, mainly because it is kind of fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, it's not really that great of a movie, not great of a Spider-Man movie, just because of, the writing and, a lot of villains and some of the dialogue and, the editing. Oh my god, the editing's bad. The music is also kind of bad. There's a lot of stuff that isn't that great compared to other Spider-Man movies, but at the same time, it is pretty entertaining to watch. Listen, in my opinion, man, if a movie's entertaining, I'm gonna like it regardless, okay? Yeah, so that's why I put this a little bit higher. Once again, Andrew Garfield is really good in it. The actor that plays Green Goblin, I can't remember his name. He was not Willem Dafoe or James Franco, but he's not bad. He did good, in my opinion. I think he did a good version of Green Goblin. Jamie Foxx was kind of trash, though, I'm not gonna lie. That Electro, man. In the new movie, Electro's a lot better, but, yeah, I don't know. Electro was kind of a miss for me. But, yeah, overall, it's not that great, but I also had more fun watching that one than the other 2. So, that's why it's number 7. Number 6 is Spider-Man Homecoming. This movie I liked. It's a pretty good movie. It's also a pretty basic Spider-Man movie. I mean, it's just Peter Parker trying to be an Avenger and trying to follow in Iron Man's footstep and, becoming his own, in a sense, later on. But, yeah, it's an alright movie. It's still entertaining. There's some good moments in it. What I liked especially is the twist where the Vulture is actually Spider-Man's prom date's dad. So that was a pretty good twist. As far as I remember, there hasn't really been that many twists and turns in Spider-Man movies up until that point. If I remember correctly, yeah, there's not really that many twists and turns. So that twist was pretty good. I love the scene in the car. That scene was pretty cool. Everything about the acting was great. Everything about that was amazing. But anyway, Spider-Man Homecoming, pretty good movie. I liked it. It's number 6 on my list. Let's move on. Number 5, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm going to be honest, I did not think I would like this movie when I watched it, but it's really good. They did a really good job at introducing the multiverse and kind of explaining what the multiverse is, and just seeing different versions of Spider-Man interacting, with each other, including Miles Morales, man. The voice actor for Miles Morales, Shameik Moore. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, but Shameik Moore, amazing job as Miles Morales. Along with everyone in the cast list, they all did amazing voice acting for this movie. And also the visuals, man. Like, it's an animated movie, but at the same time, it is a visually pleasing movie to see, if that makes sense. But yeah, no complaints there. It's number 5, which some people may think is pretty low, but this is, like, we're at the point of the list where, like, number 6, number 5, from that point on, these are movies, I really like watching. So, have that context in mind. Number 4, Spider-Man Far From Home. One of the reasons why I like this movie a lot is mainly because Spider-Man is out, like, not in New York City, he's out in Europe, and interacting with the environments in Europe is kind of an interesting twist on Spider-Man, along with Mysterio. Like, if you guys didn't know this, but Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4, the one that was canceled, that was supposed to have a lot of different villains, including Mysterio. When I heard about that, I was really excited to see Mysterio, in a movie, because that character, you can do a lot with that character in terms of, like, his superpowers and, like, his costumes and, like, it could be good. Plus, with Sam Raimi, who's known for his horror movies, he could pull off, like, a creepy version of Mysterio, if that makes sense. But anyway, with Far From Home, with Mysterio, they did a really good job with his costume. First of all, the costume is amazing. And also the visual effects that come along with Mysterio's superpowers. And also Jake Gyllenhaal, amazing as Mysterio. I wish there was more with him, if they did more with his acting, if that makes any sense. Like, if you see any other Jake Gyllenhaal movies, you know that man can act. So if they did more with him in that sense, that would have been better, but I'm not complaining. He did pretty good in this movie. And also, Tom Holland, amazing in this movie, too. And also, all the other cast members, they're all amazing. Spider-Man was good. There's a lot of funny jokes in there. I was laughing. It got me laughing. So, yeah, good movie to watch. Number 3, Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah. I mean, like, listen. It's been about a month since I've seen Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm making this video now, a month later, with the intention of, like, having that movie kind of, like, sizzle in my brain, and not make a biased list because of seeing the movie and being hyped about it. But after a month of watching this movie, I can put it number 3 on my list just because it's a really good movie, besides all the fan service behind the movie. But just as a movie as its own, it's really good. Like, from the moment it starts all the way up to, Andrew Garfield's and Tobey Maguire's entrance in the movie, up until that point, like, it's a really solid movie. Like, and also, like, it was shot well, a lot better than the other movies. Tom Holland was amazing in it. Everyone was pretty good in it. And the stakes were pretty high, but not Avengers level high stakes, but still high stakes for a Spider-Man movie, if that makes any sense. And yeah, the fan service, Andrew, Toby appearing in the movie, top tier chef's kiss right there. This is the only movie in history that I've actually cried. And it was the part where Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Doc Ock reunite.
The power of the sun. The palm of your hand. Peter. Otto. Well, it's good to see you, dear boy. It's good to see you. You're all grown up. How are you? Trying to do better.
Like, listen, growing up with the Tobey Maguire movies, like, that, it was a whole different experience alone. Like, it was crazy to me. It was crazy. But yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home, good movie. Great movie, actually. The fan service, a lot of people could say, like, the fan service is what makes people think it's a good movie, but if you want to prove them wrong, make them watch, the first, from the beginning all the way up to the other Spider-Man coming in. Like, make them watch that bit, because that bit alone is a really good movie, I would have been happy if Andrew and Toby weren't in the movie, because it was really good. The movie keeps getting better. So, but yeah, anyway, that's number 3. Number 2 is Spider-Man 2. This movie, I rewatched it, leading up to the new one. Watching it back again, it's a really good comic book movie. Like, this is one of the only Spider-Man movies that actually deals with, like, more than just, good versus evil, basic comic book stuff. Like, this actually deals with, like, what it's like to be Spider-Man, and on top of that, you know, everyone can go through some kind of, like, midlife crisis type of thing, you know, even Spider-Man, you know? It makes it really relatable, which is what Spider-Man's all about, you know, being relatable, but this movie does a pretty good job at tackling those serious types of issues while also being entertaining. Like, whenever Doc Ock and Spider-Man fought in that movie, it was entertaining. Like, the fight scenes were amazing. Even today, like, the movie came out in 2004. Watch it today. It's still really good. It has not aged at all. Like, it's really good. And I also love the train scene. That was a really fun sequence that they put together. My favorite part in that movie is the ending where it's not Spider-Man that saves the city. It's Doc Ock, you know? Doc Ock is the one that destroys his machine thing that he was building. He destroys that. All Spider-Man did was bring Doc Ock back to the good side, if that makes sense, because, I mean, he gets bad throughout the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't know why you're watching this, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Spider-Man 2, number 2 on my list. Number 1 is... Okay. Number 1 is Spider-Man 3. Remember what I said in the beginning? Listen, in my opinion, man, if a movie's entertaining, I'm gonna like it regardless, okay? This is that movie. This movie, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of flaws in this movie. I'm not gonna deny that. But it's still really fun to watch. Like, it's always fun to watch this movie. Yes, there is some cringe moments. Like, I'm not denying that. But the entertaining bits overshadow the cringe bits for me. I love it when Tobey Maguire becomes Bully Maguire. I love the black Spider-Man suit. I love the normal Spider-Man suit. I love Sandman. I love Venom. They made Venom scary. I didn't really like the actor. I will agree with people when they said, like, it was Topher Grace was the wrong person for the role. I kind of do agree. Like, if we had Tom Hardy, Venom, in Spider-Man 3, that would have been sick. But, you know, that's fantasy right there. But reality, it didn't distract me from Venom, if that makes sense. You know, I was sold. I was convinced. But yeah, anyway, Sandman was good. The last sequence, the fight scene, man, that was amazing. When seeing Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, and James Franco, Harry Osborn / Green Goblin teaming up to fight, who was it? Sandman, Venom, and there was another one. Was there? No, there wasn't. There wasn't. I don't know why I'm tripping. Anyway, no, it was fun to see Spider-Man and Green Goblin team up to fight Sandman and Venom. It felt like the trilogy was being wrapped up pretty nicely, especially with Harry's death. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun movie. I liked it, okay? Don't get mad at me. I liked the movie, okay? I had fun. If you still don't like Spider-Man 3, give it another watch, but enjoy it for what it is. You know, that's what I took when watching it. It's a really fun movie to watch. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you agree with this list, I'm pretty sure you don't. I'm kind of in the minority when it comes to this ranking. But if you do agree, you know, let me know. What is your ranking? You can comment below. Like this video or dislike it. I mean, if you dislike it, it won't really matter because no one will know that you disliked it. Thanks, YouTube. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel right there. I post a lot of movie-based content. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.